Good afternoon. Right at noon. Right at noon. Good afternoon. Truth Disclosure 369. Greeting um, everyone in the universal greeting words of peace. Been a minute since I've been on here. Kind of just been just absorbing everything, just staying focused. Hope everybody doing well. It's getting warm here in Michigan. Well, for this week, ain't no telling what's going to happen next week. Temperature go back down, but for now, it's a lot of enjoyment. It's been a minute since the person seen May green like this over the last several years. It's always been still cooler and colder. So everything will be taking its time sprouting and growing out. But it actually seemed like it's going back to how it was when and I spoke with this with a couple of my homeboys. We can remember how springs and summers were, especially springs changing from winter to spring when we was in elementary school on up to middle and high school. I mean, you can remember how it was. I remember it used to be warm um, toward the end of March, and not all the way warm, but just not ludicrously cold. And then in April, the clear up, and it'd be by May, it's on. So last couple of years, it's been kind of backwards. It still be cold, damn near to the end of May, but look like we on point. I just wanted to get on here, go over a few things. We still dwelling in the middle of corruption, and this is just from the heart to anybody that may be coming listening to this. People, please, you gotta learn how to think yourself. Tell you, people, man, this corruption is going on around us is far deeper than many people want to acknowledge, and a lot of people don't want to acknowledge it because uh, acknowledge it may mean some type of exposure or looking at some of the things that support your daily life or you might be okay with or cool with. But and like all of us, I've always agreed or done stuff that damn well was not right, not only toward self, but also toward others. And in this world we living in where all these corrupt people running shit and claiming they looking out for the best interests of the whole, you gotta be able to think for yourself, man. These folks here over the last throughout this week, I've been on here. I got on here last week, and for a whole week, just look at all the shit that then transpired. Look at how many more people that died, then passed away or crossed over, whether it was through murder, whether it was from health circumstances, whether it was from conflict in war or war-torn regions. Look at this shit, man. Look at the people that's clocking out. They're just doing shit indiscriminately. Now all of a sudden it's the attention getter. I mean, as long as it was happening in, it was kept in certain areas, that was kind of so-called untouchable from this shit. Now with this shit just happening randomly all over the damn across the board, now it's an issue. Everybody want to scream about violence and everybody want to scream about what's going on with a lot of this shit been going on. But since it turned into politics, everything it turns into politics, everybody got to take a political stance on shit. And then they gotta actually put their energy and their hopes in best interest in what's gonna happen and to some fake ass hypocritical ass greedy so-called politicians, or however you want to call them. These folks, man, aren't worth shit. There's so many people calling these folks out now, especially from the Democratic side, who are dealing with shit. You got other Democrats falling in on other Democrats because they starting to see, goddamn, what the fuck are y'all really doing? You know, motherfuckers in the limelight, like what's his name, Bill Maher and other people who was considered to be liberal, have a liberal thought. Even I didn't even know this, but I found out that guy that do Meet the Press, Chuck Todd on NBC, he even got demoted or got his show taken down, and he only on streaming service on the NBC streaming service now. And it seems like it all stems from questions that he actually raised that's kind of against the Democratic Party or against the administration and the shit that they're doing. These folks have literally, I mean, what had the Democratic Party accomplished? I mean, I want to hear this from people who still think this shit is literally worth investing time and energy in, especially when you invest in time and energy and proponents of this shit, talking heads and figures that represent this group. I want to know what have they really done? What have they done that was so miraculous and that was so counter, that was supposedly countermeasures toward the last administration, which was a Republican and Donald Trump. Which, you know, I don't give a damn how many times people scream Trump name. I don't accept him as no valid speaker of truth, except for showing a light on shit that's corrupt. It's fucked up that it took him to come into political prominence to actually show how corrupt both parties are and how ignorant both people are when they follow this shit. Because like I said, people want to run behind Trump and say, oh, well, he exposed shit. But yeah, there was a lot of corrupt shit going on in his circle that they tried to cover up, that they tried to hide. All while they was doing that, Democrats was coming in and trying to call them out and all this shit. Same shit going on now with Republicans trying to call out. So what have they done? When is this shit going to end where motherfuckers realize that both these parties got to be held accountable? All these old ass people here that I spoke on before that have literally became wealthy and prominent and stuck in a stuck position in this political landscape due to the fact these motherfuckers have not been working for the benefit of humanity in this country. I'm pretty sure in other governments in other countries are the same way. But I don't have that. I wonder, somebody ask me, what have Democrats done? The first thing the person probably say is, oh, well, they helped, you know, through the COVID thing, which is, you know, when anybody mentioned that shit, you know, I kind of get offended by it because I look at so many people that done passed away. I look at so many people who've been lied to. I look at so many people who did shit because they felt like their back was against the wall and they was forced in doing something that they literally didn't want, that they literally consciously did not want to do, but physically they did it because of the implications of working and all this other shit. And then the sad thing about it, a lot of people did this shit, and then a few months later, motherfucker, after people are railing against the machine and raging against the machine and bringing up shit, and court stepping in, Supreme Court stepping in and knocking shit down. Now, you know, motherfuckers don't have to have that. But just think about all these people that were forced to make a decision, and then months later, now if you want to, it's cool, and if you don't, it's cool. Just make sure if you feel it, yeah. It's fucked up. It's sad, man. But I wonder what they could show as far as what can you show? You can't show shit. So man, so I wanted to go into let me see. I didn't want to go right here. But well, yeah, I'll go right here. I did want to touch on, I mean, it's been quiet on this, but now it's starting now. They're starting to egg it back on. Whatever the reasons would be, you know, is beyond me. Maybe they're trying to get it to a point where you're locking people back down and try and get the remaining staples of people who refuse to get, you know, take that choice to try and get them, you know, ain't no telling what these folks do. These folks could mandate shit. They can create some lie or do some bullshit to try and legitimize, and then next thing you know, everybody got to take this shit or more, you know. So ain't no telling, man. But one thing about it, what's in the dark, steadily coming to the light. Truth will prevail. Light will prevail over darkness. So we looking at this, and it says change in reported COVID-19 cases per 100,000 people in the last 2 weeks, because supposedly mainstream media is now starting to cover this a little bit more now, and so deaths are beginning to rise again. Of course, that brings with it fear. That brings with it all type of other shit. But I'm gonna put it to you like I say it like this, and I mean this shit. Man, these folks, I have already accepted the fact that, you know, we were all born for a specific reason. And one thing in this created world that is promised to everybody is death. Many may not want that's, you know, may want to try and escape it or run away from it, but I'll be damned if I sit up here and continue to be fear-mongered by hypocrites and liars, assholes who all about profit, all about gaining some type of advantage financially over others, while they look at everybody else falling and struggling and their shit crumbling to the ground, their dreams and aspirations. These motherfuckers sitting up here promoting and provoking folks by pushing narratives continually, fear-mongering and all this shit. I could care less about whatever these folks. If it's my day, I accept it. If it's my day, I will accept it. And I'm thankful for the experience in this physical world that I was given and was allowed to live. But I will not sit up here and act like and run around like a chicken with their head cut off after these folks got on and preached that cases are rising again to scare everybody back into some shit, to wearing masks all day long, all night long, in your own damn house, in your car with nobody, you know, all this crazy shit. I'll be damned. Fuck that. So one thing about it, I'm not afraid of death. It's something that will eventually happen. Not going to rush to it, but at the same time, I accept it, and I'm grateful for the experience I've lived. See, a lot of people that get caught up in this shit, these are the same, these be the same people that, a lot of them probably be big shit talkers. But when you start talking about shit, dealing with death, then all of a sudden motherfuckers start, you know, well, I ain't trying, of course, nobody want to die. Everybody want to continue to live. Everybody want to, you know, it's unfortunate for loved ones. You think about your loved ones, you know, they passed on, crossed over, and you still miss them. And, you know, you don't want that shit. You know the hurt that your family have, and your spouse or your friends and people that you associate yourself with. But to sit up and garner this shit from these emotions, be driven by institutions like the CDC, the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, governments, period, World Health Organization, Dr. Fauci, who's constantly lying and been lying, and all this shit is shaped through these institutions and these individuals, how they want a motherfucker to perceive it and change their life up to accommodate that bullshit that has fucked this whole planet up. And for a person that go in that shit, man, hell no, can't do it. So one thing I'm like, man, I believe in God, man. I believe in an almighty God. Not no fake gods, not no fake supreme beings that 1 minute that you know a person is praising and giving supplications to this supreme deity. At the same time, they calling for the murder and extension of people. No, man, it don't work like that. There's no way. That's something I've learned to see over the years. You know, it's amazing when your eyes open to a lot of shit. You see there's so much of the hypocrisy that even you was engaged in that it becomes ridiculous. You know, no, it's not happening. So I guess now they're saying the cases are rising and, you know, trying to push people to further get boosters and everything. But the sad thing about it, now they're starting to come out and talk about this. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Let me go to the oh no. Mess the screen up. And this is from CNN, who I could barely, it seems like now they trying to say shit because they know that this company is going down as far as with them being exposed as being liars, hypocrites, all about an agenda, not about really truly informing the people. They're about political agendas. They're about doing all type of shit to try and hide what people really need to be informed about. What thinking people, critically thinking people who know how to think for themselves. They get a little something here and there, but still they know how to think for themselves. But here we go. The CNN, growing share of COVID-19 deaths are among vaccinated people, but booster shots substantially lower the risk. So, you know, of course, they're gonna still, even though they just explained that a lot of the COVID deaths are not are amongst the vaccinated, which last year, you know, you couldn't even get that to come out of this CNN mouth, which is amazing that they even saying it now. Last year, you wouldn't get shit coming out of their mouth saying, "Oh, the a lot of vaccinated people are passing away too." You couldn't get them to say that shit. It was always about division, those who took it and those who didn't. And you damn sure never heard any aspect dealing with deaths associated with these shots coming from out of CNN. You did not hear none of that. Now they're starting to put it out, but they got to try and clean it up by saying, but booster shots substantially lower the risk. So if you didn't took 3 or 4 of the main shots, so you still have to supplement it with boosters after booster after booster. It's like, to me, a critically thinking person, why the fuck would you continue to do that shit? Why would you even continue to risk things going on with your bodily risk with putting all these shit in a person in your body, especially when you don't know what's being put in there, especially when these folks don't want you to sue their ass for this shit that they put out here, all these vaccine companies, especially when these folks were told not to that they had to change the release date of safety data from 75 years, you know, to, you know, every couple months they got to release information. And, you know, of course, as we get toward the midterms or whatever, you know, they doing shit, you know, to try. And it seemed like, I think the more we get closer to midterms, the more shit gonna pop up dealing with trying to save a party that's sinking. The Democrats, if people continue to accept that shit that the Democratic Party is doing outside of these arguments about Roe versus Wade and all this other stuff, if you still accept that shit, there's something terribly wrong. Just like Republicans who set up and accepted a lot of that shit that was going on through Trump presidency, Bush, all type of shit that was done wrong. Yet motherfuckers were trying to be cool and quiet about it. And only you know, from the other side, you heard all the ruckus and all that shit, but both sides are so full of it. They're so full of corruption. They're so full of uh, disdain for people to have the real truth about what's going on. Long as they got their pockets fat, their families together, they're good. So you got a growing share of COVID-19 deaths are among vaccinated people, but booster shots substantially lower the risk. It's from CNN. Since COVID-19 vaccines became widely available, there has been a wide gap in deaths between the vaccinated and unvaccinated. But recent deaths are much more evenly split. As highly transmissible variants take hold, vaccine protection wanes and booster uptake stagnates. And that type of shit there is what continues to empower them to continue to tell people to take more shit, for these medical companies to keep producing these, whatever this shit is, and telling you to get this shit while they're getting rich. They already were there, man. Look how many motherfuckers, you know, guarantee you they look into some of these motherfucking politicians' stock reports. Republican and Democrat probably got so much shit involved in a lot of these healthcare companies. That's why you really don't hear any pushback on this shit, especially when it comes to that liar Fauci. Like, why would a person even be allowed to continue to do the shit that they're doing? So what? It don't matter what party in the damn. If this motherfucker is wrong and everything did it, I'm pretty sure they got ways of getting this motherfucker out of there. No, you don't need to be speaking to people no more. You don't need to be giving no more instructions. None of y'all need to be listening to none of this shit. But they don't do it. They don't do it. They don't fucking do it, man. So, you know, that's unfortunate. But hopefully, as we continue to roll, you know, that unfortunate reality will continue to hold true. But now, since I was on Drudge Report, I wanted to look at something. Matter of fact, we got Bitcoin going through a thing. You know, unfortunately, a lot of people been hyping this shit up, and I'm kind of in between with this. I don't trust nothing that these folks taxing, nothing that these folks, you know, it always seems like they always against Bitcoin compared to this normal, so-called normal financial system, which is also garbage. See, they don't want to call out the fact that the shit garbage. The main reason why a lot of the damn inflations and recessions and shit, depressions happen and occur is because of the shit being manipulated. But nobody wants to look deep into it because they put all their fucking trust into these same motherfuckers is telling people this is how it's been ran for over 100 years and it's going to continue to be ran like that, even though it's fucking people up. And so they throw all the goddamn hats in the ring down in Bitcoin, and it's like Bitcoin been going through it. I done lost some money on this shit, a little bit of money. I wouldn't dare invest a large portion of this shit because anything that these folks come out attacking, you know, it's gonna be some kickback on it. They're gonna try some kind of way to fuck it up. And to be honest, they may have a part in it. Just to get people, I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. I really don't know. You always want something to be true and genuine and something that'll be better and not controlled by this bullshit that, you know, is controlling everything else. You always want to look for something that at least stand on its own. And Bitcoin has been something that has, but over the last couple of years, it's been taking a beating from the little shit that I know. And over the last couple of days, it's been getting hit up. A lot of people don't lost money and shit like that. It's like, like what can you even do? Well, it's almost like you can't escape this system that these folks got together, because if you and not in a line, they're gonna do whatever it takes to try and destroy something. So long as you keep feeding this system, This system will continue to work against a motherfucker. And that's the sad reality of it, man. People are not willing to stop feeding this system. Instead of doing that, people feed it, and then you wonder why you're sitting in a world today, and this so-called high-powered country, and you got babies struggling to get formula and stuff. You know, of course, they blame the wars, they blame this, they blame that, they blame all this other shit. But the reality of it is, this shit, man, seems more coordinated than anything. People been around for the last couple of years and seeing how shit been going, know what's up. You wouldn't have, I mean, goddamn, man. So you got a lot of people that's selling off crypto and trying to beat the, I actually had crypto in Ethereum, which fell more than 13% to, and that was one of the main cryptocurrencies, Ethereum. And, you know, so, you know, like I said, I would never invest a lot into this shit because it's still a questionable thing, especially when you know motherfuckers don't like it, they want to control it, and they'll do anything possible to fuck that shit up and make it until they get control of it. Either they're gonna get control of it or they're gonna just completely work against it so that it can be out of here. So, and then, you know, the sad part about it, throughout this shit, you have people who honestly believe that the stock market, Wall Street, and all this other shit, including the Federal Reserve and in the money, dollar bills, currency, they think that shit is safe for some reason. And there's so many writings on the wall everywhere saying, no, that shit is not safe as well. Matter of fact, it's more fucked up. Especially when you know the truth about the Federal Reserve and all that lying ass shit going on with this financial system. But I'm gonna go to this real quick. Because I know this hits to the heart of a lot of people, man. It's like whenever you got a government that continue to do shit like this, you know, a couple of weeks ago, it was 33 billion. Now I went up to 40 billion. You know, it's unfortunate that these, whoever that, whether they're Ukrainians, whoever, that people are being used in the middle while these powers on both sides are doing shit. And in this country, these fake ass leaders and rulers and shit that people have propped up and think they mean them some good. I mean, it is what it is. I know a lot of people may disagree, but respectfully, it is what it is. I've been there. I know how it is. I supported a lot of these folks back in the day. I felt like they was doing some good. A lot of times I was doing it because I was following other people around me or family or whatever. And that's just real talk. But for people that's claim they got your best interest, for people to do this shit, and then you see what's happening in the world, man, like, wow. How the fuck can y'all continue to send money over here and then use that as a means to say, oh, we got to keep Russia at bay? Get the fuck out of here. So you're going to keep Russia at bay by constantly sending billions of dollars over there while your own fucking country is hurting, falling apart. Only places that's being built up is agenda specified places that's for a specific purpose. Billions of dollars, 40 billion for Ukraine aid. All Democrats voted for this shit. A majority of the Republicans went against it. It's like, how do you do that? It is all through here. And this happened yesterday. House passes 40 billion Ukraine aid bill. We just seen 33 billion. I'm gonna go to that. That's 1 day ago. So they actually, that's that same 33 billion, and they're trying to add it, and it makes it even worse. They want to add the shit, they want to add 7 more billion to it. Now this was 2 weeks ago when the 33 billion was first put out there. And now here we are today, that 33 plus 7, so 40 billion going to out the country. Where they getting that money at, I have no fucking idea, but you know, deep down I know where it's coming. You know, they just print shit. They have no fucking I mean, those that the elite, those that really run the show, the elite control politicians know what the fuck going on. They know this money is bullshit. They know the Federal Reserve is garbage. They know what the fuck is happening when it comes to that. Like Nancy Pelosi, all these motherfucking old ass people that have been in Congress for years that need to sit their ass down, and then people continue to vote their asses in like they really doing something. They ain't doing shit. What are they doing? What the fuck are they doing? Oh, they're budgeting it. They ain't budgeting shit. Ain't no fucking budget been budgeted. How the fuck you gonna budget a budget that's when you trillions of dollars in debt? And you throwing money at other countries while your own society is sinking fast due to some of the policies and bullshit that the same fucking administration put out. They put out all this shit, shut shit down, got shit closing and everything else. People displaced. People can't function with the normal rent rates, so rents had to go up and all this other shit, forcing people out. And you sit up here and you got the audacity to do all this shit right in front of the public eyes, and then you don't even get not even a kiss on the cheek while they boning the hell out of you. Get the fuck out of here. You gotta be crazy. You have to be crazy. That's why I don't give a fuck about what none of these motherfuckers say. I don't give a fuck about what YouTube gotta say. None of these motherfucking algorithms, none of this shit. This shit fucked up. These are some fake ass evil people that are in the Capitol, in the White House. I'm not saying that all of them don't have no genuine or no aspiration for the best and for good of humanity, but many of them have been co-opted. You want to do this shit, you got to do it like we say, or your ass out of here, you lose everything you get. So motherfuckers fall in line, but this shit got to come to an end. 40 billion as of yesterday. While motherfuckers still here going through all type of shit. So let me go back to Drudge Report. It was something else I wanted to go. I'm not gonna be on here that long. I just wanted to get on there for that. 40 billion. And this is just take a look at the imagery. When you look at the imagery of this shit, it's like there is no hopeful. There is no positive messaging, no hopeful messaging in a lot of the media right now. So look at it. Just look at every story. Bit of panic. 200 billion crypto gone in 1 day. Plummet test hype driven Luna now almost worthless. Jobless claims rise. I mean, goddamn, just from them stories right there, you would think there was no hope for humanity here in this country. And then you go into more shit, political. Nothing seems to be happening that is of positive nature, of hope. None of that. It's sad, man. I mean, with the Roe versus Wade thing being the centerpiece now, you know, a lot of stuff get overlooked. And, you know, there's fires going on in the West again. I think there's some in New Mexico as well. People losing their houses, you know, while these folks sending money over to Ukraine and shit, people people suffering through storms and floodings and shit. These folks sending billions of dollars to Ukraine for a proxy war with Russia and doing shit in a nuclear world where both countries are nuclear powered and have access to nuclear weaponry and doing all type of bullshit, crazy shit, and admitting it. And the sad thing about it is, like, what do you think the other nuclear powered country gonna constantly keep doing if you keep doing shit like they're doing? Like, I seen other day they came out with the United States had been using intel, feeding intel to Ukrainian troops to assassinate Russian generals, or giving them intel on ships and shit like that. What do you think gonna happen when motherfuckers from that side of the equation, let's say people who support what's happening with Russia and support what they're doing, their cause, let's say if they looking at it from that standpoint, what would you think if you know you ain't at war with, you in a war or you in a military conflict with a country that has got the attention of most of the Western allies, including the United States, one of your major adversaries, and you constantly seeing these allies sending money, sending aid, sending troops, as far as mercenaries, really, that were part of the military at one time, but since they are not in direct conflict, they have to do it in the subtle way, do it sneakily. So they have mercenaries in there running shit and doing stuff. So you see these folks constantly equipping Nazi party members and sending information out to this dangerous for their generals and military capabilities. What do you think eventually gonna fuck around and happen or be said? Like, goddamn, man, we can't allow y'all to keep doing this shit. Like, damn, if it was the other way around, the US would be doing the same fucking shit. Like, no, we can't do that. So it seems like these folks are begging for to try and get into some nuclear conflict. It's almost like they begging it with the shit that they're doing. First of all, they're not even telling you what's right. They're not telling you the truth of what's going on. That shit's slowly leaking out here and there about what's really going on. He don't even mention none of this shit on Drudge Report. But it's a lot of unanswered shit going on over there, and they're not trying to put the cameras on it. But here goes something right here. Yeah. Ukraine, Putin humility. And see, I don't believe none of this shit that these Western outlets put up. Bullshit like this. Eventually, you'll come back a couple of weeks later, you'll find out that a lot of these stories is hogwash, nothing but propaganda. Probably was some fake shit, just like on that damn and this is shit they actually did, and the media covered it and said it was real, just like that Ghost of Kiev shit. That so-called fighter pilot that just came out of nowhere, was doing all this damage and shit, and then come out that they lied about that shit. It's sad, man. Really sad. I'm trying to see what there's a lot of propaganda. They want people to mind their business, just do as their government tell them and accept what they tell them and keep it moving. That's all it is. It's hard to really sit up and respect information coming from a government when you see all the bullshit that not only Biden, but his son was involved with Ukraine. And the shit that they did to help prop that man up, who was here, was the president of Ukraine, Zelensky. So, you know, I don't know. People are still keep an open mind on that shit. But right now, there's, you know, like I've been saying, it's always been an attack on humanity. And, you know, these folks are fighting to the bitter end to continue to just literally fuck people over. Ain't no way around that shit. It's so fucked up out here. You can feel the tension in the air. A lot of people walking on eggshells. They don't know what to do. Don't know what to think. IRS still owe millions of people for taxes they ain't even got out yet. I know I'm still owed. I know I'm still owed. I know it's plenty of other people. Yet they coming out talking about they collected record taxes. That, how can y'all come out bragging on shit like that, but then y'all still owe people? And it's almost like, damn, is that, like I said last time, is that where that 40 billion gonna come out of? Monies that y'all ain't even appropriated back to people who filed taxes years ago? One thing I did see from the, what was it, Wall Street Journal, I did catch an article where they was talking about that everybody who was owed taxes should have a certain percentage rate attached to their refunds. You know, I can't remember exactly what it. Hold on, let me look real quick. I think I got it on my phone. Yeah, this Washington Post, Wall Street Journal. You have to have a, that's why I didn't pull it up on here. You have to have a what's the name to see the whole article. So you only see it. But the IRS has millions of delayed tax returns and is paying billions in interest to those waiting. How can you even do that? You giving billions out to all these other folks. Tax agency now pays 4% interest to waiting individual filers. It made 3.3 billion in interest payments. Now that's according to Wall Street Journal. So, like I told a lot of people, I mean, when you see this much inconsistency and this much bullshit, like, man, this is how I look at it. Everything I'm willing, I have already stated that everything that I was taught about this government and all that, I look at it as nonsense. This world has to change, and it's like you can't go in, you can't move from one world into another world carrying the same dirt and garbage and shit for that world. I always use that quote Yahshua, Jesus used to say, man, you can't take new wine and pour it in old wine skins, because that shit'll be flowing everywhere, holes everywhere, gases, gaps. Shit'll be flowing out, hitting the ground. All that good tasting wine, just wasted it. But so you gotta put it in new wine skins in order for it to hold it and absorb it. Keep it fresh, keep it good for a person to come pour it into their goblet and take a sip. So you know, even in the aspect of history, these folks have lied so much. Black history, there's a lot of stigmatism, a lot of stagnation. Like you're supposed to be stuck on one idea of things and not move from that, and everybody suffers from that. But I just wanted to get on here, man. It's still crazy. Just try and stay focused on knowing that all things must come to a reality in which those who are seeking and doing what they're supposed to be doing as far as in the spiritual aspects, man. I mean, all this stuff ain't gonna be done, ain't gonna be null and void A lot of shit ain't gonna be done in vain, even though a motherfucker don't have understanding. I know a lot of time I eat my own words. I don't really have a true understanding of everything. I just go off of my spirit. And a lot of times I'm led around people, led to people, led to videos, led to information, led to this, or somebody's led where a person could connect and resonate and you start seeing even people you grew up with. I done had conversations with some of my homeboys I thought I never have with, but everybody's realizing there's some bullshit going on. And as long as people know that shit, that's the first part of really awakening, man. Shift in consciousness, a shift in the way of thinking, a shift in thinking like you have to go according to what liars and hypocrites and fake leaders and people who use God in vain and use the whole institution of God and religion and spiritual using that as a means to profit and to keep control over the masses while they do all type of dirt and all this shit. Like they never get held accountable. While they telling you not to do shit because you going to hell if you do it, they doing all type of crazy shit. So I guess it's good for you, but it ain't good for the rest. I don't know. But people have to look at this, man, and see for themselves. And it's like, I don't know, can't do nothing but stand strong on what you believe in. And you see what we'll see what pans out. But one thing I will say, and I always stand strong on, is I know from back in the day when I was younger, a lot of this stuff got something to do with not only with just everything happening political, the way people have been taught, the whole indoctrination process, everything leads to an area that is a lot of people don't want to go there, and that is the fact that these folks been lying not only about history of the world, planet, civilization, human beings, they've been lying about the reality of other life out here. They know this shit. They know it, and you know, they know it's other life out here. These folks have been doing a lot of crazy shit over the years. Had to really go in to look at shit, see shit that don't make sense, and why they always did this and they do that. Then why they coming out with this now? Why they starting to talk on this and all this shit. So I just wanted to just share that today. Hopefully everybody's will continue to maintain and you know, continue to seek abundance and in a positive light. Also continue to seek truth. True freedom comes by truth. What they say, the truth shall set you free. That's what the world needs. Everybody, every race, every color, every creed, every religion, everybody needs the fucking truth, man. So that all these corrupt individuals, these elite groups, these people that aren't elected, that people see speaking to their elected officials and speaking to them like they really control, like, why you don't even question that? All these same people that talk all this shit about, oh, but you won't question shit like that. How the fuck can you scream something that's abnormal when you sit here going in to flow with it? But I just wanted to get on here and share it. Hopefully everybody continue to have a blessed day and a blessed week, and just keep my eyes out open for more shit. And I just pray that everyone who may come across this video or whatever, that you also stay focused and vigilant at what's going on. Everybody out here, no matter how much a person want to deny or whatever, you can't escape your gut feeling on what the fuck is happening. You can't run from that feeling. The best thing you need to do is heed it and start to work with it and not against it. But with that, I greet you as I came in the universal greetings of peace. Stay up, Stay safe. I'll be back on here maybe in the next couple of days, probably tomorrow. Never know. But I was in the spirit, I had to get on here and share that. Peace.